Holy moly, can you believe what happened? Today, SpaceX's Mechazilla Tower just caught the mighty booster from midair. Now, what do NASA and the FAA have to say? Hey, I'm Sam, your space droid. Let's get started. So, SpaceX has achieved a milestone that will be remembered as one of the most remarkable engineering accomplishments in human history. They successfully caught the Super Heavy booster. This is a feat that pushes the boundaries of aerospace engineering and redefines what is possible in space exploration. In today's episode, we'll dive into this historic event, analyzing the details of the booster catching attempt, exploring Elon Musk's groundbreaking vision, and discussing the reactions of Elon Musk, the FAA, and NASA to this monumental success. At nearly 400 feet or 121 meters tall, SpaceX's Starship system, comprising Starship 30 and Super Heavy booster B-12, took flight at sunrise from Boca Chica, Texas, near the Mexican border. The early morning launch followed a familiar path, crossing over the Gulf of Mexico as it soared into the sky. This flight was the latest in a series of Starship tests, many of which ended in destruction either after liftoff or upon re-entry. In fact, the most successful launch prior to this one in June had concluded without an explosion, marking significant progress. However, this time, SpaceX's founder and CEO Elon Musk raised the stakes considerably. The key difference in this launch was the plan to catch the first stage booster after 7 minutes in flight. The Super Heavy booster returned to the launch pad from which it had lifted off, only to be caught by SpaceX's specially designed tower, equipped with massive mechanical arms known as chopsticks. This bold plan was executed flawlessly, as the 232-ton, 71-meter booster was gently captured by the arms, marking an engineering triumph unlike anything ever seen before. Elon Musk was quick to confirm the success on X, formerly Twitter, sharing the news with the world. First, he posted, "The tower has caught the rocket." Then he shared, "Good morning," with a photo of the booster between the chopsticks' arms. He also mentioned, "If civilization is reasonably stable for the next 30 years, a self-sustaining city of 1 million+ people will be built on Mars." What an incredible moment that must be for him right now. Let's talk about the FAA's reaction. Charles Boer, a writer and photographer, asked the FAA if any investigation would be required for Flight 5. The FAA replied, "The FAA assessed the operations of the SpaceX Starship Super Heavy Flight 5 mission that launched from Boca Chica, Texas, on October 13, 2024. All flight events for both the Starship vehicle and the Super Heavy booster occurred within the scope of planned and authorized activities. This means there is no investigation from the FAA." I think that's great news for SpaceX, for all of you, and for me. Now, on to NASA's reaction. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson appreciated SpaceX's achievement. He posted, "Congratulations to SpaceX on its successful booster catch and 5th Starship flight test today. As we prepare to go back to the moon under Artemis, continued testing will prepare us for the bold missions that lie ahead, including to the South Pole region of the moon and then on to Mars." So, the launch window opened at 7 a.m. local time from SpaceX's starbase in Boca Chica, and liftoff occurred at precisely 7:25 a.m. The Starship system, powered by its Raptor engines, performed flawlessly as it ascended into orbit, heading toward its destination over the Indian Ocean, just west of Australia. The Super Heavy booster separated from the Starship at an altitude of approximately 74 kilometers and began its descent back to the launch site. SpaceX's innovative launch tower, equipped with its chopsticks arms, was ready for the catch. The decision to attempt this catch was not made until moments before, as SpaceX had stated that the flight director would have manual control over whether to proceed with the attempt, depending on real-time conditions. The landing process had to be executed perfectly, as any error in either the booster stability or the tower's readiness would have resulted in the booster splashing down into the Gulf of Mexico, similar to previous launches. But this time, everything aligned. The risks of attempting such a complex catch were immense. Both the booster and the tower had to be in optimal condition, and the timing had to be impeccable. Elon Musk later praised the decision-making that went into proceeding with the catch, acknowledging the courage required to make that call in real time. He credited the SpaceX team's tireless efforts and dedication for bringing about such a groundbreaking moment. The landing sequence for the Super Heavy booster was astonishingly quick, as seen in the video posted on X by SpaceX. The landing burn began with 13 of the booster's Raptor engines igniting in a staggered pattern. The engines fired from the inside out, a deliberate strategy designed to ensure balance and maintain control as the booster descended at high speed. The deceleration was carefully orchestrated to allow the booster to descend vertically and approach the launch pad at the perfect angle for the catch. I'd like to quickly remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We regularly upload informative SpaceX and space news videos that you won't want to miss. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you're notified whenever we release new content. At T+6 minutes and 32 seconds, the booster came to a near halt just 5 seconds before it reached the optimal position for the catch. Using only 3 engines for the final landing phase, the booster slowed down in the correct configuration. The chopsticks extended from the launch tower, reaching out to meet the descending rocket in a precise and controlled motion. The giant arms caught the booster, securing it safely. SpaceX employees erupted into cheers as the catch was confirmed, knowing that this marked a monumental leap not only for SpaceX, but for the entire U.S. space industry. The risks associated with landing the boosters so close to the launch site had caused delays in obtaining approval from the FAA. Concerns about the sonic boom generated by the booster during its descent, which could affect nearby communities, had been a sticking point in previous attempts. But with this success, SpaceX demonstrated that such concerns were largely unfounded, and the booster was captured safely and without issue. Although the landing was overwhelmingly successful, it wasn't entirely without incident. A small fire broke out near the lower section of the booster shortly after the catch, likely due to the heat generated during the descent or a minor desynchronization in one of the engine restarts. The fire appeared to originate near the quick disconnect point where the booster connects to ground systems for fueling and power. Fortunately, the flames were contained and extinguished quickly. Elon Musk later addressed the issue, tweeting that some of the outer engine nozzles are a little warped from high heating and strong aerodynamic forces, but reassured everyone that these problems were easily fixable, as Starship is still in the development phase. Minor issues like these are to be expected. The successful catch of the Super Heavy booster represents a significant step toward achieving full reusability, a key goal in SpaceX's long-term vision for space travel. However, before reaching that point, SpaceX will need to conduct more test flights to ensure that the booster can be fully reused without significant refurbishment. Once SpaceX achieves full reusability, the Starship system, already the largest rocket in the world, will be an almost entirely reusable space vehicle. This will revolutionize space exploration, making it far more sustainable and cost-effective. While the Super Heavy booster's landing and catch were the headline moments, the second stage of Starship continued its own important journey. After separating from the booster, Starship's second stage carried on toward its planned destination, performing a controlled descent into the Indian Ocean. Much like previous tests, the second stage executed its belly flop maneuver as it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere, falling toward the ocean horizontally before using its Raptor engines to reorient itself vertically for a smooth landing. In a prior flight, Starship's descent flaps had burned up during re-entry, compromising the vehicle's stability. This time, however, despite some visible damage, the craft remained intact and completed the water landing successfully. The second stage was not intended to be recovered in this test, and exploded after landing as expected. SpaceX, however, achieved a significant breakthrough by improving Starship's thermal protection system and descent software, allowing for a smoother re-entry process. SpaceX's goal of achieving full reusability for both stages of the Starship system is now closer than ever. With today's success, the company has proven that it can catch and recover the first stage booster. The next logical step will be to attempt similar feats with the Starship upper stage, ultimately bringing the world closer to truly reusable space vehicles. Elon Musk's vision of full reusability is key to revolutionizing space travel. Currently, only the Falcon 9 rocket's first stage is reusable, But Starship aims to take this concept to the next level by making both stages reusable. This would drastically reduce the costs associated with space missions. This would open the door to more frequent launches, reduce turnaround times, and an overall more sustainable model for space exploration. Once full reusability is achieved, Musk envisions a future where Starship rockets can be launched, caught, and relaunched multiple times a day, with the potential for 1 million people to live on Mars. It's an ambitious dream, and today's successful booster catch is an essential stepping stone towards realizing it. So, what do you think about SpaceX's accomplishment? Do you believe full reusability will become the standard in space exploration? Comment below with your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more space content, and share it with your fellow space enthusiasts. This has been your Space Droid Sam, and I'll see you in the next video.